Hey everyone, it's me and I'm back with another video. Today we're going to make a maze game in Scratch. So in this game, you play as a red block. You can move your player, which is the red block, using your arrow keys. So up goes up, right goes right, down, left, and you can navigate your way through this maze. And when you do reach the end, it says you win. So that's pretty good. Alright, now that you're on Scratch, go to Create. The first step is to make our player. So we're going to name this project Maze, and we're going to delete this default sprite. Right click delete, or control click on Mac. So delete that sprite. We're going to click paint new sprite, this paintbrush over here, and a new sprite should pop up in the sprites panel over here. We're going to click this little eye icon and name this player. And here we're going to convert to vector in the sprite editor. Choose the square. Click the red color. Set to solid right here. Hold shift and draw a square. Hold shift or else it won't go out perfect. And you might want to center that, so drag that to center. Alright, good. Now we're going to go to Scripts, Events. When flag clicked, control forever. If, then, sensing, key, space pressed, drop down, up arrow, motion, and change Y by 5. Alright, so what we just did there is, in a forever loop, it will always keep asking if is the up arrow pressed. And if the up arrow is pressed, then it will change the Y by 5. So it keeps asking that over and over in this forever loop. What this does is it gives functionality to the up arrow. So if I press the green flag, the game's running, and I press the up arrow, keep an eye on the player, it moves upwards. So, but right now it cannot move side to side. So we're gonna, or down. So we're gonna give the other arrows functionality as well. So we're gonna duplicate this, and then duplicate the whole thing. This one's gonna be the down arrow, the right arrow, the left arrow. Up and down arrows are going to have these two blocks to change Y, because Y is up and down. So the Y coordinate of the player will increase by 5 if the up arrow is pressed, and decrease by 5 when the down arrow is pressed. So let's set that to -5. For this right arrow and left arrow, you don't want these, so drag these back. We need this, change X. And we want these to be set to 5 and -5, because the X coordinates is side to side, which is what we need for the right and left arrows. Now, when we play this, we should have a fully functional moving script. And I press the arrow keys. Works like a charm. Good. In the next step, we're going to make our maze. Okay, so now we're going to make our maze. So open up a new tab and look up maze in Google, and then go to images. You're going to find this image, so right click on it or control click on the Mac, and then click save picture as, and we're going to call it maze. go to editor, and then click paint new sprite. Convert to vector mode and click import. I saved mine on my desktop, so it's right here. And open that. And here I have my maze. Might want to scale it up. And that seems about good. Go to scripts, go to events, when flag clicked, motion, go to, and choose 0, 0. Now, let me talk a little bit about this coordinate system in Scratch. X goes side to side, Y goes up and down. But the origin, which is the middle of this whole playing screen, is at 0, 0. And the far right edge is at x 240, and this is negative x 240. The Y, the top wall is at 180 Y, and the bottom is at negative 180 Y. So those are just some dimensions of our little game screen here. But this will basically set it to 0. So when we run the game, we can see that our maze is directly in the middle. That's all we have to do for the maze, but the player's doesn't look like it's here right now. Now the problem with that is, the thing with that is the maze is actually covering the player right now. It's on top of the player. So all we have to do to fix that is take this go to front in looks, take this go to front block and put it right under here. This basically puts it on the top layer, so it'll go on top of everything. So when we click the flag, there it is. Now you can see it. And we can still move around, but it seems we can easily go through these walls, which is what we're going to do now. First, we're going to set an origin point for this player as well. So go to motions, go to, and set it to like kind of the entrance point. Let's say, where's that? Okay, just do the values I say. X is 160 and Y is negative 135. Okay, that's the origin. So when we click the flag, it resets there every time. But we still can go through the walls. So now to fix that, we're just going to need to put in a little bit more code. Go to control, if touching color. Now to select the color for this, you have to click the color box, drag your cursor over to the maze, make sure it's on the black part, and click. So now it says touching color black. Then you want to go the opposite direction. So motion, change Y by -5. What this does, so if you're pressing the up arrow and it touches, and you go up, and then you find you're touching the color black, then you're gonna go straight backwards. You're gonna go backwards. So you can't go through black going upwards. Now what we're going to do is duplicate this and put it in down arrow and just switch this to 5. So when you're pressing the down arrow and it touches black, then you want to change the Y by +5 to cancel out the -5. So then we're going to duplicate this for the right arrow, and of course, since it's side to side, we want the X and cancel it out. So let's put -5 in there. duplicate this, put it here, and we'll put 5 in there to cancel out that x. Alright, and we're going to click the green flag, and we're going to try this out. Now, as you can see, our player can't go through the walls anymore. But there's one last problem. If we complete the maze, nothing happens. That's what we're going to add in our next step. Alright, now, in this step we're going to make the congratulations sign, and we're going to make the game end. So I'm going to paint a new sprite, convert it to vector mode, click the square button, and then instead of going to this color palette with the squares, go to this button and choose this color palette. It's much more diverse, and you can find all sorts of colors here. So just kind of go not all the way red, but just a little bit above that. Somewhere around there is good. And okay, that's good. And we're going to make a rectangle. So first set this to solid down here and draw it over the entire screen. Then we're going to choose text and go back to your blocky color palette. Choose white as your color and click the screen and type U space win and add an exclamation mark. Take this and make it huge, put it in the middle, and you're done with your U win screen. Now, we don't want it to be appearing all the time while we're playing and covering up our maze, so in the beginning we want it to hide. Its origin point is also going to be at 0, 0 at the middle. Next, you're going to go back to your player, and we need to make an end zone. So right now, if we play this project, once we go to the end, nothing happens, right? What we want to do is make a way to detect that we've gone through here. So we're going to make an imaginary borderline. Right around here, an imaginary line. We're actually going to take the x-coordinate of this line and use that as our imaginary line. So down here, hold on, let me zoom in so you can see. But over here, you see in the bottom corner of your play screen, there's an x-coordinate and a y-coordinate. This always sets to the x and y coordinates of your mouse. So if I go up to this play area and move my mouse around, keep an eye on these numbers, by the way, they'll change. So if I move my mouse right here, it tells me which line that is. So take a look at the x value. It says -160. And so that's the line we're looking for. So let me zoom back out. So we need to take an if statement. Let's stop this. An if statement. And then go to motion, X position, drag that out. Operators, less than. Take the X position and put it in the first box. If X position of this cube is less than -160, which is what we saw there, right? Then we're going to broadcast a message. A message is kind of saying, like, screaming out to all the sprites, hey, this happened, now whatever you have to do when this happens, go do it. So I'm going to broadcast a message, and we're not going to call it message 1. We're going to right click that and say rename broadcast, and instead of calling it message 1, we're going to call it winner, and click OK. And when you win, so when I receive winner, go to your you win sprite and pull out the when I receive winner, which basically means when the player screams that he's won. Then it's going to show up, and not only that, it's going to go to the front layer, so it's going to cover everything. So if we play this project, let's head to the end. And you win. Very good. Well, that's about it for this tutorial, guys. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you in the next video.